Hello, sister friends. So good to see you. Thrilled that you're here. We're going to talk about another episode. We are going to make it fun. Yes, we are. Not a great episode, but we are going to make it fun. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, because that's what we do as sister friends. It's all a good time. All right. Thank you for being here. Let me do a little housekeeping to get started here. My apologies that the thumbnail said episode 8. I'm hoping that by now people aren't really keeping track. They're just looking at the next episode. I don't know. I don't know what I did. It was the first, I made the thumbnails for all the rest of them. So I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I forgot to actually make the link and connect it, which is why it was so late this week. My goal was I'm going to get them all made in ahead of time so that I can just put them all out and you can click on the next one when it's time. But somehow I didn't do an episode 7. So you'll see the same thumbnail tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Well, maybe right after this I'll create the link for next week's. And it'll say the same thing, episode 8, but it'll be a different link. All right. Let's get back on track. You're on track. I'm off track. No, I doubt that. You're probably way off track in the chat because you're all like me. All right. Make sure you take the time to like and subscribe. I glanced at the thing. Danny Towns. Actually, Sherry was actually the first one in the chat at 6:30. Danny Towns was the first like, hitting number 1. Although right at 6:33, it also said number 1. So I think that they just kind of roll ahead and then jump ahead and catch up at times. So if you have the same like number as somebody else, I think that's just it. Some are just behind the others, but I think they all still count. So that is Life with a Kiss. Hey, I finally made it on time. I'm number 1 in the likes. I don't know if that's yeah, it's popping up on my screen. Okay. And she also adds, I have to get off so much stuff about this show off my chest. I'm rewatching from the beginning, and I am watching the episode where Cody is saying he's willing to go to war over custody with Robin's ex. It's crazy to go back. We are definitely doing that as soon as the season ends. So as soon as the season ends, I don't know if we should go all the way back. You know what? I'm going to count up how many weeks there are until roughly the next season begins and decide which seasons we want to watch. I'm thinking maybe we start at around 10 so that we're really caught up on the most recent stuff, and it's kind of the most crazy stuff were the most recent seasons. But there is also value in looking at seasons 1 and 2 as well. So, you know what? Chime in the chat and let me know what you want to do. We have time. We're only at episode 7/8. So we have time to figure it out. But I do want to have your feedback on that because I'm kind of up in the air about what we should really do in terms of after this ends. Even if we did 2 lives a week, I don't think we would catch up. We'd have to figure out how to modify it. So, hello, there are so many people in the chat. Loving it, loving you. I think my chat rate usually is on my analytics shows up different than everyone else's. So, I got my warning again. I don't understand the bit rate thing. According to this, it says 238 views. That's a lot to just be beginning. So thank you all. Okay. Make a point to give a quick shout out to our moderators and thank them for moderating. I appreciate you for being there and helping us out. Thank you, moderators. I do have to get back. There were a couple people who have sent me emails and wanted to be moderators and kind of were trying to apply for the job. But all moderators, actually, not just my moderators, all the moderators do it out of the kindness of their hearts. It's not a paid gig. So that's why we always make sure to shout them out and thank them for being here. They don't even know when I'm going live, although Lynn's probably figured, Lynn now knows that every Tuesday I do it. But when I do the random ones, when we were doing the catch up before the season, I would just do it when I could get it in my schedule. And somehow, magically, Lynn is always there. So thank you, mods, for being there. I appreciate you. And on that note about getting emails from people who wanted a job, being a moderator, I have a lot of emails to get through from people. So just be patient with me. And I appreciate them. So I'm not saying that to say don't send emails anymore, especially when you guys like find something cool or something new and you want to share. But I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Not ignoring, just really busy. Really, really busy, and am consciously restructuring my life next year so that between September and January, I am not so swamped with my other 2 jobs. So life will look better by then. And life will be better in February through the summer. Although there won't be a show, but we'll still be here talking with each other. Okay, what else do I have to do before we get going on this? Trolls, just remove them. Get them out of here. They're not welcome. Thank you for last week's super chat, super thanks, and super stickers that came through. Got that. Thank you all. If in your, not even if, you can go to the top of your chat and click where it says the little caret down next to top chat and change it to live chat. That will make everything chronological for you. I know Lynn has already listed out the rules of engagement here, which is basically keep it clean, be nice to each other, and no politics. So we probably can get rid of the no politics one after the election. But until then, this is supposed to be a release from the stressors of life. We have enough stress trying to decode Cody. All right. Usually Lynn, I will take a peek in there. Usually Lynn also will throw out a drinking word or drinking phrase or drinking words. So get your drink of choice. Mine is a cherry, I don't know what it's called. Kind of like a Crystal Light with a splash of soda. All right. Hello, Alaska Van Ars. I just, like, in the corner of my eye, saw Anchorage, Alaska. Yep, episode 8's next Sunday. I'm living in the future. Most people live in the past. Not me, man. I live in the future. I'll post that same thumbnail next week. All right. No cussing, no fussing, except at Cody. It's funny, Kathy. All right, so good to see you here. All right, was there any other? I don't think so. Oh, at the end, I do sort of a quote that I just pull out of my notes app, because whenever I see a quote that I like for whatever reason, I just add it to my notes app, and I've been doing it for years, so there's lots of them in there. So I just pull one randomly out and share it. But we are adding a new segment here on our Tuesday night lives. This week, when I was responding to comments on some of the videos, I noticed that some of them were making me laugh out loud, and I thought, how fun. I don't know if everybody gets a chance to read. I don't even get a chance to read all of them all the time, and I'm so disappointed, and it always makes me think when I read these ones that are so great that I'm like, oh, I need to catch up at some point on prior videos from people. But I created a bunch of folders for myself that I'm just cutting and pasting a bunch of the comments from you all just for myself. Most of them are just for me. There's the mean comment one, so that everyone gets one chance to be mean. Then they're blocked. There's the, like, just sort of, there's the really touching ones that, like, people have real personal situations and situations like that they've told me about, and, you know, it said how the channels kind of helped them through. So I have that. I just have like different kind of nice comments, because everybody leaves a nice comment because you're all amazing. So it's just kind of weird to categorize it, but it just kind of like different information, I guess. I don't know. Not that you need to know about all these folders. Anyway, one of the folders are funny comments. So things that made me laugh. So I'm going to read 2 of the funny comments at the very end. We might have to bump it up from there, because I don't know how many I have. I probably saved like 10 of them already. But we'll start with 2. We'll actually kind of do 3, because in the live on Sunday night, Huckleberry made me laugh out loud with one of her comments. So I told her I was going to steal it, and I already recorded the video that night afterwards. And I'm 90% sure I didn't say it. So I'll mention it at the end here, or maybe even during as we get to that point of discussing the show. And then I'll add the other 2 and give you a little background, which video it was that they watched and what it is they were talking about. Because it's fun to laugh. That's a good way to end too. Okay. So let's get going. Oh, Martina. Hello, Germany. Welcome. Love to have Germany here. Yes, this is very cozy. It's very warm. I might be taking it off a little bit later. It might be a little too warm. It was kind of a nice day today. But yeah, another one of my Nashville, Tennessee Goodwill hauls. All right. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. So I see, look how many things in the chat. There are so many members in here. I love you all. That being said, I managed to get every single member name up here. So let me know if you can read it, because this is the largest font I could do to get them up here. And what I can do next time is figure out how to put like a white banner behind it so that you can see it better, because I think black on white will be the easiest to read. So let me know. I mean, because my screen on my software that I'm using, it's only like this big. So it looks really tiny, but I think I can still kind of read it, which makes me think as long as you're on a decent size television or computer, that you should be able to read it too. But I want everybody to have a chance to see their name. They're going to keep scrolling for the entire time that we're here. All right. Oh, people from all over. Thank you for saying where you're from, because a lot of you get a chance to kind of connect and realize you have other people that are there. That we have Alaska. We have 3 other Alaskans that are in our chat. I know. We have a lot of Australians, a lot of different countries, a lot of different states. I'm trying to think. We had Caribou Woman is from Alaska. There were 2 more. I think it was What the 50, which I think is such a great name. What the 50. Who is from Alaska, but is currently living in Florida. And speaking of Florida crafty lady, I hope you're doing well. I know you are in the hospital now and have been there for a while, and I don't know why, but I just know you've been there for a while, and I also know you signed up to be a supporter. You're the first name, actually. So there we go. I'm going to read the big supporters and exclusive SOS supporters out loud. It's part of the benefits of being at those levels. And big supporter, starting with our newest member. We have Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, That's My Shoe, Lisa True, Storms in Life, Christ is There, Knit My Bit, Elizabeth Murphy, and Lynn Skinner. Okay. Can I just say I still have these aligners, and depending on the week and which set of aligners I have, sometimes I slur more than I do other times. Not drunk, I'm not drinking. But if it sounds really weird to you, please just let me know, because I can just bend over and pop them out. I'm just supposed to have them in 22 hours a day, and with eating and then doing a 2-hour live, it just doesn't work out that well. Oh, turn my little dinger off. Why don't I? Okay. Boop. Sorry about that, people. Let's read our exclusive SOS supporters, our highest tier level. These are the people that come on Sunday night to do our live, if they can. And if they can't, they have access to watch it at whatever time is convenient for them. Our exclusive SOS supporters, starting from the most recent sign up, is Rain Lady, Ladybird's Mom, Fawn, Evie, Kendra MP, Cheryl Smith, Steam Frog 99, Living an Eclectic Life, Laura McWilliams, Sarah Lewis, Libby Scher, Sean J, Marie Crab, Waldo's Mom, Sherry Pazik, Leanne Marie, Laura Bondurant, Sharon, period, like, share, Dee Dee, Lisa F, Alyssa 1704, Kaylin, Donna Redman, and Jessica Denham. So thank you all for being members of the channel. I appreciate it. And thank you all these people who you're going to see scrolling up here too, because there's a lot of people, or a bulk of people are at the keep the lights on level. And I humbly and honestly thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. All right. At that level, you get the little things next to your name that says that you're either a new member in the heart, or you've been a member for 1 month or 2 months. It'll change the longer that you're a member. And then there's a few little icons that I'm slowly making to add. There's a knife in the kidney that I added recently. I can't remember the other ones, but hey, that's another thing. I'll do it as a poll for all you members. You can tell me which little pictures do you want me to create. It's a little tough because they're so tiny, those little icons that you have that you can put next to it, so tiny. I created a couple, and then by the time they're as small as they are, you can't tell what it is at all. So it has to be pretty basic. I was proud of myself. I was able to do a knife in the kidney. All right, so let's get going. Okay. Let's see. Shout out again from me what the drinking words are. I know you guys are talking about it, if you've determined. Okay. No, don't see it here. Yep, I do go back and read the lives most of the time, Kathy. Chrissy wants to know how fun would it be for Dr. Phil to be with Cody and his narcissistic life. He loves calling out narcissists. That would be amazing. Okay. Kathy wants to be snarky and loving on this channel. Loving Jenny, snarky on Cody. Perfect. That's what we're all going to be. Sister mods. Moira, that's funny. Thank you, sister mods. I appreciate you all for being here. All right, welcome to episode 7. So, starting at the very beginning, we have Nathan, and bless him, and his wife, who is Rebecca, I believe her name was, which is Meri's sister. I liked Rebecca. I felt like she was quiet and shy, of course, at the beginning, but I felt like she was kind of keeping it real and trying to check Cody, although then Cody would just respond with words that made no sense. Surprise. But at the beginning, when Meri was explaining things to them, I don't know if it was just a bunch of bad acting and Nathan knew everything. And so he was trying to play the part. So he kept asking questions and being confused, like, what? So things aren't good right now? Like, no. See, now, Nathan, you're looking stupid. This is not a good look. Stop. Just stop. Stop. Cut it off. At the beginning, you can say, I know things haven't been great. Give me an update. What's going on? That's it. Why is this so difficult for people? I should be on a reality show. I can fake it like I hadn't heard information before. I don't know what that, and I am not a theater person, and I really don't like getting in front of crowds. At a retreat that I attended, I didn't coordinate, but I attended this past weekend. The one gal was going to do this thing with games at the front. And beforehand, she came up to me. She's like, can I pull you up there and be one of the people for the games? I'm like, no, no. Mm-mm. I really don't like being in front of people. She goes, I figured with like your YouTube, she's the only friend that knows about this. I figured with your YouTube thing and all that. I'm like, yeah, no, that's different, because I literally feel like I'm talking to about 5 to 10 friends right here. That's really what it comes down to. I have like names that I recognize, which is way more than 5 to 10, but like in my brain, it feels very, 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 very small. I feel like we're a very tight, close little sister friends group. And so it doesn't bother me. If I were to, and I did it only one time and it started to freak me out and I won't go back there again. If I were to like sit in it and think about how many people might be watching me at the same time, I think that would freak me out enough that I just wouldn't do the channel anymore, because this has gotten bigger than I expected it to when I started. I just was hoping other people were interested in this and would watch it too. And I was hoping that maybe eventually I would get monetized, and that would be even better. But it took off because there's a bunch of us suffering, and now we suffer together. All right, so we have Nathan confused. I don't know. What do you think? Let me take a look at this. Do you guys think that he's just really confused? Or was he completely aware of everything and he was just acting? Let's see. Let's see. It's different being in front of a screen than in front of a bunch of people. I agree, Nikki. I agree. That's how I feel. I literally have nobody else here in the room. And I don't even look at myself, because if I look at myself, I'm looking like this. And then that's frustrating for all of you. So I'm staring kind of at the very top of my computer, which is why my eyes go down when I have to look at the chat or do something on the screen, because the camera's way at the top. One of these days, they're going to figure out how to put a camera smack dab in the center of the screen where you don't even see it. It's going to be behind something. And so you can be looking in the center of your screen, and it'll be like I'm looking at you like this. One of these days. All right. Meri says Nathan is the brother-in-law. Yep. Cody's best friend, according to Nathan and according to Cody. Probably has no other friends. Oh, we don't really see any friends. There was the friend who didn't approve of Cody and who was willing to go on TV, but I don't think it's a friend, because he said he hadn't seen him since high school, so not really. All right. Let's see here. Anyone else? Looks like he was a South Park character. Those couches were a choice. Coffee buzz, that's funny. Nicole was number 121, hitting the like button. Good job. If y'all hit the like button, let me know what number you were when you hit the like button. If you don't remember, it's okay. But going forward, when you hit the like button, let me know. All right. And welcome to a live stream also, Nicole. All right. Okay. Nathan doing math in his head made me panic. Peach, it's funny. Okay. I didn't even realize until I started recording the video how, did you catch? Cody did math. And he did math like Robin does math, basically. He paused, and it was at the point when he, no, that might have been my bonus. That might have been the video I just published today in the bonus one. I think it is. Cody math. He was trying to figure out, he said he had 4 births. 4 of his children were born in the hospital. So that means at home he had, and he's like, big pause. And then he goes on to say 9. So 9 births at home. And then he goes on and he continues to talk. I'm like, wait. 15 births you were at minus 4 equals 11, Cody. 11. Can you believe he forgot about Saul and Ari? Isn't that shocking? Probably the first and only time it's ever going to happen. I was just amazed, but was more entertained at the fact that this is Cody Math. Cody, who now is in charge of all the finances. Which, before we go on, let's talk about that for 1 second. There was an interview with Christine and Janelle with Entertainment Tonight. Actually, they had the questions. They asked each other questions. So they weren't being interviewed. They were sitting in chairs with questions. It was all everything we all know already, with the exception of the fact that Janelle pointed out that Christine is not talking to Cody anymore. So that makes sense because of the divorce. Or not the divorce. The lawsuit. So they're not chatting anymore, because that would be the only reason that they were in communication before, because the rest of the kids are old enough to contact him and get together or do whatever they want to do. Truly was the one minor that was left. So now, obviously, they're not talking at all anymore. And then, but more important than that, Janelle shared that she is still talking occasionally with Cody because they're still working out the finances of the property and their finances together. It's still not worked out, which means he probably tried to get away with just having her leave and giving her nothing, and she is trying to get money from him and he's not doing it. So, ooh, did she lawyer up? Did she lawyer up? Did she lawyer up? I mean, if she hasn't so far, and she's seeing what's going on with Christine, I would venture to guess she is going to very soon lawyer up. I don't know. But I was very, very excited to hear that. All right, let's see. Pencil face. Oh, goodness. Warp speed ahead, these two. Oh, you must be talking about Christine and David, and we'll talk about that. Ay. Not my favorite part of the show. I have pretty blue eyes, thank you. You know what? Sometimes I think it's this, I have a good camera here, but I do have blue eyes. But I think it makes them bluer. I don't have a good camera, I take it back. It's just the camera on the computer. Just Mac computer. It didn't come with a great camera, and it wasn't the top of the line Mac for like gaming and everything that probably has great stuff. But the software I'm using allows you to tweak a few things. It doesn't give you the nice soft filter though, that like when I teach my kids and do my speech therapy, I look amazing. I look 10 years younger. Because Zoom has got the filter on it where you do this, the soft look filter, but it's not blurry. It's just the soft, oh, so good. It's so good. And OBS software does not have that. I've done a lot of deep diving to try to figure out what settings I could do. There is a soften one, but if I put it all the way to the end, then people tell me that the whole thing looks blurry. So I turned it off, but yeah, it's a good filter. Anyone that uses StreamYard. I'm jealous. Okay. Oh, you saw my eyes when I took off the glasses. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's see here. I've heard Janelle is on the deed at Coyote Pass with Robin and Cody. I want to know the details of that. Murder face is a little strong. Yes, murder face. Right when I think it's me. I've been calling him Angry Cody for the past 2 seasons. That's my Angry Cody. Okay, before we get there, let's see. Let's finish up on this scene here. So we have this chatting with Meri and Nathan and Rebecca. I do want to say that Meri's disposition right now is like 10 pounds got lifted off her shoulders. She's just lighter. She is happier. She's come to terms with everything. And I think that that's been for a while. I think the conversation that we saw in the last episode when she was chatting with Cody and he started getting angry that she was like, whoa, didn't think we were fighting here. Shutting it down. We're shutting it down right here. Like, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight with you. I don't have to anymore. But I found it interesting on the show that she said that he called her up to discuss some stuff. And in there, he's having a fight with her over when the breakup and disillusion of their marriage actually began. And she implied that he was saying it was the catfishing thing, of which she said, well, there's a reason there was a catfishing thing, and it was because of your behavior leading up to it. And how bad, I have a smudge on my glasses, how bad things were between us during that time that led to that. So he's, I think, still trying to get her to see his point of view so that maybe she'll go on camera and say, you know what? I do realize now that I caused the end of our marriage because of the catfishing situation. Catfishing situation really turned out to be nothing. I still think it was a betrayal. I agree. But like... It was a marriage of 20 some years at that point. So marriages have bumps in the road. Nothing really came of it. Would it have if he was real? Probably, but it didn't. So who knows? You can't live life on probablys. Probably, sort of, kind of, or we'd be Cody Brown. All right. So when she said that right now she's a double D because she's divorced Cody twice. 2 divorces, double D. I thought that was really funny. That was a good joke. Meri's got some good one-liners, really. People say that the show wouldn't be successful without Robin and Cody because they're the drama. They are the drama, but Meri brings the comedy. Occasionally, Christine has some good one-liners in terms of digs. She has some really good digs. I guess Cody has some, I guess they'd be good digs if you were on his part, but like shocking, we hate you digs from the viewer's point of view. And Robin is just like watching paint dry. There's nothing of substance there. All right, let's move on. Okay. All right. We're up to 148 likes. That's fantastic. When you hit that like button, do write in the chat and let us know who you are and what number you were when you hit the like button. Okay. Meri says catfish was Robin and her friends, and it worked, kinda. Yeah. I'd love to get to the bottom of that too, right? Robin definitely knew a very close friend of the catfisher. I don't remember if she actually met the catfisher herself. I don't think so. But she's her good friend, good enough that she put her on the show, was close with this catfisher person. So too big a coincidence for Robin to not know anything about what's going on, right? Right. Okay. I did find it interesting too, and I do talk about this in the video that'll come out later this week because I just finished this other one. I have to start it tomorrow, but I work till 6 tomorrow, so I'm pretty tired, so I'm probably not going to start it till Thursday. Anywho, Cody said that Meri was upset by the divorce that happened with them, the legal divorce back in the day, because she was going to lose her power. And Meri's like, I didn't know I had power. Nobody told me I had power. Well, if I would have known I had power, I would have done more with it. What power did I have? And that's true because neither Christine nor Janelle blinked when, it was like they just said, oh, she was so good at being the first wife. She handled everything. We knew she's a fair person. We know she's a loyal person. They thought she was a really good person. They were both worried about, well, I don't know, Christine, I don't know if she really was worried. But Meri and Janelle were both worried about Robin taking over. And I found it really interesting that still to this day, Cody can be so out of touch with his wives. Even we know he watches the show. And he's heard what they say. So it's like it must go in one ear and out the other. And he filters out stuff that he likes, like positive things about himself. And anything that's not positive about himself or doesn't match his thought process of what he thinks about something, he lets go out the other ear and then forgets about it. Because for him to say that she was so upset at that because she was losing her power when they were going through a rough patch in their marriage at that time. Can you imagine going through a rough patch in your marriage, and then there's this other woman who he's spending all the time with, and then he comes up to you and says, a divorce, you want a divorce? And this is, I think, almost proof that Cody presented the idea to her, or Cody, Robin in tandem maybe presented it, or Cody used Robin to talk to her about it and, say like, oh, if only I could marry him, my kids would be safe, which we now know is a lie. But if he said she was so upset because she was losing her power, well, that wouldn't make sense with the narrative of it was all Meri's idea. Because if Meri was scared about losing her power in the family, she would have never offered this. It would have never been a suggestion of hers. And again, that's just his perception anyway, because she's not worried about losing her power in the family. She was worried about losing, I guess, maybe if you want to say power, just for the sake of argument, losing her power in the relationship she had with Cody, maybe. Maybe she felt like that was a link that was definitely keeping them together because of the legal bond, knowing that their relationship was on the rocks, and she could see how in love he was with Robin this whole time. So that, but that's not what he was talking about. But that's really what was going down. Okay. Dee Dee said notes to self 444 said that she heard Robin's ex was in complete remission. I sure hope so. Yep. I heard that same podcast that she did. So that is such good news. Such good news. So happy. Also, she and her husband on that podcast, who have known Robin and Preston from back in the day, like back when they got married. They also know Meri and Cody back when they got married. So they know what life was like way back when in terms of relationships and that. And they continue to know the family of David Preston, and Robin's ex, for those of you who aren't following. And they said that he's a great guy. We knew it, didn't we? I just knew it. I just knew she was just defacing his name. It's not good. It's not good. They just kind of started watching the show, so I'm going to be excited. I think they may have gone back and they're starting from the beginning too. So I'm going to be interested to hear. Hopefully she'll have more reactions based on the things that Robin is saying about Preston, especially around the time when she's trying to get him to sign over the kids. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on here. So then we have the murder face, which some people in here were talking about already. So we know that in the past 2 to 3 years, we have met angry Cody, which I have always thought is Cody who Cody is, but he has always just put on a song and dance and a happy face for the camera. And we're starting to see the real Cody now because he's just exhausted and too tired to pretend anymore. The wives say it is different from how he was in the past. So unless these have been thoughts and feelings that he's always had, been able to suppress it, which seems hard, and suppress that kind of behavior. Everyone has negative thoughts. Trust me. Nobody wants to know what goes through people's minds. But we know how to filter it and go, ooh, that was bad. That was bad. Don't ever let that come to the light of day again. And thank goodness nobody can read my mind. Which is funny because a couple times in my life, people have talked about, what superpower would you want if you could have a superpower? Hey, Shira. My superpower would be taking money without people realizing it. Woo-hoo! Success. I have always said that the one superpower I don't want is reading other people's minds, because it usually comes up at times that people will say that, oh, I just want to be able to be in people's heads and read their minds. I'm like, I don't. I know what I think, and I'm a good person. Some pretty evil thoughts going through my mind at times. So, yeah. I mean, the majority of it's good. Like, if I could choose when they're in my head, it would be fine. But, I mean, no one's perfect. We're all human. So, no. I don't want to know what somebody else really thinks of me. I don't need to know. I'm happy that they're just nice to my face. I'm good with that. Mama Squirrel. She-Ra! Yes. Okay. All right. Becky says, if you mix Dog the Bounty Hunter and Charles Manson, bake them in the oven at 350, Cody Brown would come out. Oh, goodness. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's going so fast. I can't even keep up with the chat here. Okay, let me go back to my notes. I'll keep talking. So, angry face, as I was talking about, Robin calls it the murder face. That's really angry. But she says it like tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, don't use the murder face around the kids. He uses it around the kids? Great. I thought he was just saving it, and they were like poking the bear at these interviews, sitting on the couch like, oh, I just want you to know that this wife said this. What do you think of that, Cody? And because nobody else was around, he would just let loose. Apparently, he's like that at home. I don't know if it's all the time, but enough time that he has to be reminded not to use that kind of face with the children. Or that tone of voice. Oh, bring it back, say it nice. And then she goes, and then he'll be like, okay. And he does a little scary face thing. I'm like, oh, is that what he's doing when we get the psycho Cody that we see? That's him trying to not be angry, so we're going to smile like this? Mm-hmm. Just keep the murder face. The other one freaks me out. All right, Becky. He used the murder face to tell him to put the pajamas on. That was the example Robin gave us as when he uses it. Can you imagine when they actually spill one of his pill bottles, or I don't know, break his hair dryer, or playing and squirting out all the gel from his hair products? What else would bother him? Put a hole in his gloves. All right. Let's see here. Let's jump a little bit. I'll try to keep my eye on the chat here too. Yeah, Nicole. Angry face, not great when you have kids that are already sheltered and don't have a whole lot of interaction. All right. Lynn's wearing her murder face for Halloween. Oh, goodness. Okay. Wee Wee says he doesn't notice the kids in the room. Says whatever he wants. I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Hide the gloves. No, not the gloves. Yes, it is very here's Johnny. That's right, Doc Karen. Doc Karen, if you didn't get a chance, I actually put a video out, and I didn't call you out. I called on you several times because it was OBGYN questions. Okay. I'll be excited to read the comments down below because I don't know. Hello, Netherlands. Okay. Jerry, great point, and I've always thought that. There's a little bit of jealousy that he has with those boys. I think Peyton too. And we don't see, somebody else pointed this out, I think it was Sunday night in the live. How many times have we seen one-on-one interactions between him and Peyton? I've seen him disciplining Peyton a couple times. I've never seen him do anything like, I don't know if Peyton was in any sports. I don't think so. I think that just the other boys they had involved in sports. I don't think Peyton ever picked it up. Probably would have been great in football based on his size. But I almost feel like Peyton is one of those kids that grew too fast for his body. Does that make sense? His body grew too fast for his brain and his maturity level. So he had this big, overpowering body and height and strength and all that. And it was, he was kind of pudgy when he was younger too. He's fit now, but like before. So he didn't know what to do with himself. And I think it got him in trouble at times. And if it would have been channeled into a sport, I think that would have been good for him. Anyway, it's just my opinion. But the other boys were. So I think Cody's jealous of Peyton's height for sure. And I think because the other boys are shorter, all of Janelle's boys are shorter. They're Cody's height or thereabouts, or maybe even shorter. So I think he's happy with the fact that the Janelle boys are all shorter. However, they are more successful than he is. They're more educated than he is. And they are more athletic than he is. That's got to really irk him. Okay. So we are moving on to the next scene that they gave us was Christine. Oh, geez. First of all, we find out that Christine lied to us, which the last live we were talking about this, and some of you were pointing out one or two things that Janelle, because I'm like, I can't think of Janelle ever lying to us. I mean, Robin, Cody, all the time. Christine, definitely. Not as much as Robin and Cody. Meri, too. Meri and Christine, their lying was all about how wonderful and lovely and flowery and blessed they are for being in this polygamous relationship, and everything was going well. So that was their lies. Cody's and Robin's were much more intense and much more vindictive and much more self-serving. And I couldn't think of any for Janelle, but somebody pointed like one or two out to me. I can't think of what they are right now. Generally speaking, Janelle, pretty wholesome. But here's a proof of another one of Christine's lies. And that is, do you remember the wedding episodes that we did? There were 2 wedding episodes. One was everything leading up to the wedding. The second one was the wedding. If you haven't watched either of them, just watch the second one. Second one was nice and sweet and lovely. The actual wedding day was great. If you could only watch one of them, or watch them both. Watch everything on this channel. And then when you're done, go back and watch it all again. That's my recommendation. All right. So she said in those wedding episodes that, McKelty also was saying that McKelty was upset that she got married so soon when she was so upset with McKelty wanting to get married so soon after being engaged. Now, I'm not going to go back and rehash all that. We're comparing apples to oranges here, to use some Brown terminology, because McKelty was a baby. I mean, I don't even know. She wasn't even 20 at the time. And she only knew the guy for a couple months. And she dated a couple other guys, but was the only one that she was kind of serious about. And it's Tony. So obviously, Mama Christine had concerns, as did Cody, definitely Janelle. Janelle didn't seem to like Tony at all at the beginning. Christine was way more open to Tony at the beginning than Janelle was. That would be a good video for me to go back and clip to just get all the reactions of Janelle to Tony every time he's in the room. She always side-eyed him. She did. She did that with Robin a lot too, but So in this whole discussion about it's not fair that she was upset with me, but she's doing the same thing. Like, well, she's 50 years old. She wants to get married. I mean, it totally agreed that you can say and express your opinion that it's too soon, but it shouldn't affect you unless it doesn't work out. And I guess this is just to make it so that it does work out, to wait a little bit longer, give it a little bit more time. Plus, I don't think she was being chased. So there wasn't that. A lot of Mormons get married. A lot of strong Christians, and especially fundamentalist Christians in general, get married early because of hormones raging, and they just don't want to wait any longer. Okay. I don't think that was a situation with Christine. I feel like she jumped in with 2 feet right from the get-go. That's just my opinion. I have no proof. My opinion. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Okay. So we find out now that she met David and went on their first date in December. They got married October 7th. So that was only 10 months from when she first met him until the wedding day. So they weren't dating for a year or so. Or so usually means a little bit more maybe, or maybe slightly less. 2 months is a lot when there's only 12 you're dealing with. So that was a lie in that episode. And now she's being very ambiguous about the timeline again. And she was ambiguous back then too. She wouldn't say how long she dated him. She wouldn't say how long she knew him. She just kept saying, look, it's been about a year or so. She said on the show, they said that we're watching him touring different venues. Don't care. Saw the wedding already. Don't need to see them go to different venues. Would have been sort of interesting last year to watch this. Actually, would have been really interesting, especially knowing how soon they met each other. There would have been a lot of discussion on the internet about like, whoa, this is a little fast. I don't know. Okay. She said about 6 weeks. Okay. 6 weeks to 2 months. That's what it was. 6 weeks to 2 months. All right, one's in January, one's in December. 6 weeks to 2 months. I mean, literally, unless you met him on December 1st, and then they're touring these venues on January 31st, then I guess we could say it's been 2 months. Still, 2 months until you're looking at wedding venues. It's a little early. But, she said, when you know, you know. I haven't had that situation where later in life I got divorced and then was like meeting somebody new. But I do know a lot of girlfriends who say it's very different the second time around. There's not second dates unless you just don't waste your time on a second date unless you really think, oh, like this is really husband material, which some people do early on. I was young and naive and stupid. I dated a lot of guys a lot longer than I should have. Anyway, so that was, I felt like another lie, because I feel like it was less than 6 weeks to 2 months. I feel like it was about a month. I might be wrong. In this little part here, Isabel keeps speaking her mind and saying it's too soon, but she is the sweetest girl in the world. And anytime she says even something slightly like, it's just a little too soon, I feel. But I'm just so happy. I'm so happy for her. She's so happy, which is true. Yeah. 2 things can be true, right? It's too soon. It's too much PDA. And I don't even want to say in front of the kids. It's just too much PDA. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm not even in her family. I'm not even a friend of hers. I've never met her. It's too much for me. The open mouth munching of his mouth, the way she kisses him, is just, we don't need open. I come across like a prude, don't I? And the smacking sounds they make. No. Anyway, But she's very sweet. She's very sweet. So it can be, all right, the PDA can be tamed down a little bit. And, you know, a few extra months to get to know the man isn't going to hurt anything since you're probably already boinking. So why not give it a little bit more time? That could be true. And it could be true that she fell head over heels in love and she just knows that this is the one. They can all be true at the same time. Again, this channel is just my opinion and your opinions. So share. Let me know what you think. Deborah says, too much PDA. The whole house is shaking. Those are the people who people avoid being around. It is true. If you're hanging out with a group and some people are just like hanging on each other all the time and especially kissing, it's one thing to just like hang on their arm. I don't care. To be touchy with them, like hugging and all that. All right, I don't care. It's the munching down. Open mouth. It's like she's going to suck his whole face into her mouth when she goes in. Do you notice that? Is it just me? It's just a little much. Okay. Coffee buzz. I want to see it all. Everything that ended up on the cutting room floor. I'm obsessed with it. I admit it. Oh, good. Then I'm glad you should be enjoying the little bonus episodes. I will, after I do this last Sunday's episode review, I will do the final one that they put out, which is episode 4. They dropped all of those at the same time. Episodes 1 through 4 were all dropped on the same day. So I'm guessing now maybe 5 through 8, since 8 is this coming Sunday, not this past Sunday. Maybe after this Sunday, they'll drop the next 4. But we'll be caught up anyway once I get this 4th one out. And the 4th one is better than the first 3 because Cody's a rambling idiot. And they just couldn't put it all in the show. So some good stuff ended up on the cutting room floor. I honestly don't remember what. I just watched through them really quickly and took notes on all of it. But I remember thinking notes and 4 pages of notes. And more than one of them was episode 4. It was more than the usual. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I will show it all to you, disguising as much of it as I can with making the volume go faster or slower or altering the picture with it or breaking it up and putting little clips in between or me talking in between, whatever I can do so that when I get to the upload part and it says that it was copyright free, I was like, post. I don't know. It's sort of a pain in the butt because when it doesn't do that, it takes so long to upload on YouTube that when it does that, I'm like, I have to go back to the drawing board, re-edit. Okay, we're going to get into some of, I am getting warm. I'm going to take this off, people. It's a nice sweater. I could put the fan on, but it's going to be clicking noises, so I won't. I'll just let it cool down here. Okay. All right. Some of you are so bad in this chat. If you're watching this, just go read the chat. Oh, goodness. I don't know if I should click on stuff or not. Just know that it's funny. Okay. All right. Shonda said that her dad took a wife out. There was a first date on Labor Day, got engaged on Christmas. That's only 3 months apart, right? Labor Day, isn't that September? I told him it was too soon. He didn't know her. I was right. She was the ultimate wicked stepmother. Yeah. Kitty's back on the market. I was going to say any guys out there, but there are very few men that watch this channel. Taking it slow. Good for you. Find the perfect guy, Kody. Find that perfect guy out there. Don't settle. Don't settle. And it's okay to be alone. So don't settle. Something happened to my husband. I told somebody that the other day. I don't think I would find somebody else. I think I'd be good by myself. I really do. I got my sister friends. Good. I'm good. I hope Cody watches Christine and Handling Dave. Okay, coffee buzz. Great point. This is the one part that makes me go, however, it's just got to like drive him. If it drives me nuts, it's driving him up the wall. He's going crazy. And he's watching it. So, yeah. Oh. Chat goes so fast, sometimes I have to go back and read my phone because I'm laughing. I know, you guys are hysterical. He's the best at this chat. Okay, and it goes so fast. I'm just like randomly hitting things all over the place. Kathy said, I clutched my pearls at the wedding for sure as she hiked. Oh, yes. Yeah, that was that. See, and maybe that's why the PDA is bothering me a little bit. And I don't know if that's why, but having seen that before, like, that was the only part of their wedding I didn't enjoy. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see here. Tahoe is down in the 30s. Got up to the 70s today. It's been cooler. It's been in the, 40s, 50s. Upper 40s, mid to low 50s. But then it hit 70 today. So the house is warmed up because the sun was out too. I'm sure it'll drop back down to 30 tomorrow. That's what happens around here. All right. Oh, thank you. Glad you like my sweater. It is a beautiful color, isn't it? Kind of that mauve-y, half purple, half pink. I guess it's almost like what do they call that? Dusty violet. Because dusty rose is in, and it's not quite dusty rose. It's more dusty violet. I know that because that was the color of my second daughter's wedding. Talk about a hard color to match. Everyone has a different interpretation of what dusty violet is as well. If I would have had the sweater at the time, I could have just taken this around and matched it. I want to discipline Christine myself. Oh, the chat went ahead. Somebody said I want to discipline Christine myself. That's funny. I want to crawl under the sofa when Meri was trying to get Cody's attention. Yoo-hoo! Oh, yeah, wasn't that? Cody! Cody! Yeah! He's just ignoring her. Boy, he was enjoying that, pretending like she didn't even exist. I'm like, Meri, don't. You're losing your cool here. He hears you. That's the problem. He hears you. Don't give him the upper hand. Stop. Where do you watch a bonus scene? Sherry, they are only on TLC. They're not on HBO or Discovery. And they're not dropping them anywhere else. So where do you see them? Here on Senior Perspective. Because I'm covering them all. That's why I have to alter them and tweak with them and kind of chop them up. But I'm trying to give you as much of it as possible. It's not riveting television, but it's always fun to look at. Anything that was part of the scene, anything they could have put in the show. I mean, there's way more. I mean, I am sure they've got great stuff from prior seasons. I'd love to see. Wouldn't it be great if they just decided to do that? Like during the summer, bonus scenes from season 1, bonus scenes from season 2. Oh, TLC, do you watch this? Sometimes I think you do watch this. Because I've been talking about bonus scenes from the cutting room floor ever since last December. It's been almost a year. So I think you're listening to me. Or maybe it's just a good idea and they did it. All right. Why is everything so funny with Meri and her friends, like hysterical? I don't know. I think that she enjoys her drink when she gets together with friends. I think that affects it a little bit. But I also feel like for Meri, anytime she was around Brown family at all, she was on guard. I think she knew she wasn't liked. I know she knew she wasn't liked. And I think that she didn't want to get hurt anymore. So she just kind of separated herself. And then she had the situation with Cody where she really liked him, but he was rejecting her over and over again. So she just kind of kept apart from that too, waiting for him to just get over it and come back to her. So I think there was a lot of walls up all these years. And when she's with her friends, there's no walls anymore. So if she just wants to laugh and laugh and laugh, by all means. I like a good belly laugh. I don't like the kind of fake laugh. But she doesn't do that very often. Christine does that a decent amount. When Christine has a good belly laugh, I love it. Like when Tony was saying, I heard about these baby milking rings where everyone gets in a circle and then they all nurse each other's babies and then pass them around. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in the world. She got to the point that her mouth was just open and she was just leaning back. And she's like, no such thing. That I like. And Meri has a lot of belly laughs. I think she used to back in the day be a lot of fun before she wasn't anymore because of circumstances. So I feel like, I might be wrong, but I feel like she just enjoys herself, which is why she was a different person at the beginning of this episode too. There was no more facade. She had no wives, no kids that she had to connect with. She wasn't trying anymore with Cody. She wasn't trying to, just kind of like step aside and let him do his thing. She could just put the walls down, joke around. If you like it, great. If you don't, great. Don't care. So I feel like we're going to see a different Meri this season. I mean, we have already, but I feel like we're going to continue to. That being said, I don't watch a lot of her Friday with Friends. I know it can get overly done because that's why I don't watch them anymore, because they're on Facebook and Facebook doesn't allow you to pause or fast forward or back. You have to just watch it all the way through. And I just can't. It's too much. But if they ever put that feature in, then I'd start watching it, because then if there's a part that bothers me or I'm not interested in, I can just jump ahead. Or even worse is when she says something, I'm like, wait, what'd she say? Because I'll like start doing something else because I can't just sit there and stare and watch this. I got to multitask. So I'll be cleaning or doing other paperwork for a job or whatnot. And then I'll be like, wait, what'd she say? I can't rewind it. I have to start back at the beginning again. So it's best that I don't even know. Okay. A lot of people in here talking about how long before they got married. I am thrilled for everybody who's made it work out. Bless you. Kathy, when Janelle laughed and said, I'll pay you $1,000 if Cody gets another woman. Yes. When was that? Was that with the on the Sirius XM interview that was said? I vaguely remember that. Lynn, not a fan of the giggly girl laugh. I appreciate that. Yes, Cody on Dancing with the Stars. He thinks he's an amazing dancer. Sadly, he'd probably make it through the first round because there's usually people who are horrible. And although he's not a great dancer, he does have some level of rhythm where some people literally can't hear the beat. And so they're just completely stiff. So they would work into his routine, his kind of craziness, and he would get through a couple rounds. Now, I would love it if he got voted out week 1. Wouldn't that be amazing? It'd be like Sister Friends Unite. We would find the next two to 3 people who are really bad or who clearly don't have great fan bases or whatever, and just all vote for those people. Let the top ones, they're going to get votes anyway. Vote for the ones around Cody to make sure they move on. And he would be taken out in round 1. That'd be great. Oh, goodness. Christine was laughing at how stupid good Tony is. It's true. It was. It's true. I can't argue with that. Oh. Black Swan Gothica says, I just don't get what's so funny with Meri. I feel like there's an inside joke going on. I don't think there is, although I take that back. I do think sometimes there is. She'll make little jokes that people don't get, and then other people will analyze it and say, oh, I think it's this. And it would be like recently she said something about not lasting long enough, or something implying that an interaction with somebody would be very short period of time. And so it's like, well, is that Cody? Can he not last that long? Or is that what we're talking about? And then there was a time that she was talking about, it was the end of last season, and it was her and Jen. So I think that was, I don't remember if those were talkbacks or lookbacks. Talkback. It was talkback. And Jen was there, and questions were also sent in. And the question came to Jen for Meri, who do you think she should, or maybe it came to Meri and Jen chimed in, but they were talking about what kind of man Meri would want. And they were kind of saying, oh, he'd have to be, and Mary's like, oh, he needs to be at least 6 feet tall, and that. And then all of a sudden, Jen or Meri said a pilot, and they busted out laughing. So obviously there's some sort of inside joke, or there's some sort of hidden meaning there. Other people were hypothesizing a pilot because a pilot can land the plane. I don't know. So I think there are things that Jen knows, because that's her bestie. She shares everything with Jen, that we don't know, that she's probably never going to tell us outwardly, but we might be able to piece things together as the time goes on and she becomes a little bit more loose-lipped. Okay. Becky, Nathan and his wife could have moved that furniture together themselves. Cody didn't need to be there. No, that was screen time for Cody. I'll be the hero. I'll show up and help. Cody was confused by it all. Why is she being nice? I don't understand. Okay. I love that Meri was calling out Cody in that not couch interview, when they were sitting on the couches after they did the movie. And they got back in there and they were talking, and she said, well, Cody was really surprised when I went to it surprised him. And then it surprised me that it surprised him. And he just sat there for a second quiet, like, are we talking about this? He does a bunch of talking that meant nothing at that point, except for we keep going back to Sonny and Cher. My Lord, what is the obsession with Sonny and Cher? Makes no sense. What 6-year-old child is devastated over Sonny and Cher breaking up? What? I watched that show religiously. Loved Sonny and Cher. Donnie and Meri, Sonny and Cher. Addicted. Cody and I are about the same age. I did not, maybe we even are the same age. I remember when they got divorced, or maybe I don't. I said this in the live too. Maybe I didn't know they got divorced until years later, and somebody told me, oh, by the way, they got divorced. Because 6 seems kind of young to even understand about divorce in that. No one in my family had been divorced, and I mean, maybe not, but I certainly wouldn't have cared. Would have been like, oh, that's sad. Is the show going to continue? I just like the show, really. And he used words like devastated. He was devastated over it. Sonny and Cher. All right, Cody. Such the man. He keeps showing his hand more and more, doesn't he? In terms of, whatever. Where are we? Oh, Janelle says that she thinks that Kody has amnesia because their marriages were bad right from the beginning. Nothing was good right from the beginning. She's like, you can't pretend everything is good for 20 years. You can't. So you just must have amnesia because all the rest of us remember 20 years of things being really good. BR period of time before Robin came into the family. And then it all went awry in the BS period of time, which is after Robin came. Let's see here. Janelle did say he was selfish. Yes, she did. That's not surprising. Kody's creating a narrative to fit his needs every 3 hours. No, there's truth there. Because you can't keep them straight, whichever one he's going with on any given day. And they often contradict each other. So it's like, well, what position are we taking today, Kody? Just so I know, so I can try to follow your train of thought. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's see here. Mom Squirrel says that if he went to school and said he was divorced over Sonny and Cher's divorce, the kids would have been laughing at him. Probably. And Sonny and Cher did not have a contentious divorce at all. They were very close. I remember being shocked by it, actually. Because, Sonny and Cher just never looked like they went together and just never got it. But I didn't know either one of them, quite frankly. What do I know? Just judging. That was just a judgment. Complete physical appearance judgment. Tall, thin, gorgeous, long dark hair, and he was short with a squealy little voice and his little porn mustache, and he just looked as nerdy could be. But they were in love. And until they weren't. But I think she always still did love him because they always did things together. She always talked fondly about Sonny in all her interviews. And when he passed away, she spoke at his funeral. She was crying. She really. So it wasn't like some big, huge blow up thing that shook his world and made him devastated. They just went their own ways. They drifted apart. Devastated. Oh. All right. Oh yeah, Deborah, good point. I can understand it if it's your parents because it totally affects you and your whole future. Completely get that. Completely understand. I don't get it if your parents are happily married and everything is fine in your house and you find out these two characters on TV who you watch once a week for 30 minutes for entertainment purposes can make you devastated. But you know what? Kody led a really sheltered life. We learned that in the book when we did the read-through of the book. Both Kody's mom as well as the moms of the OG3 all admit that he was very selfish. He was very immature when they got married. And he was like 24. He had a lot of growing up to do, and that lasted years into their marriage. So, like, if there was turmoil and disruption and chaos at the beginning, it was you, Cody. It was you bringing it in, and your selfishness as well. Yeah. He was not a great... Hi, Ethel. Welcome. That's why Cody peels the trees. I don't even know what that response is to. Okay, let's talk some more. We had a word of the week this time. Do you guys know which one it was? Offends. Cody was offended by things that you don't get offended by. He totally used the word offended incorrectly. He was offended that his wives, that Christine, who we were talking about at the moment in particular, he was offended that Christine was married to him and then later went on to meet this is why it's so confusing. He was offended for Christine, not he was offended. It almost would make sense if he said he was offended. Almost, still wouldn't, but it would be much closer. We're on the opposite sides of the ocean here. When he said, I am offended for Christine that she married somebody and stayed married for 30 years and then met her soulmate. You're offended that she had to have a relationship, but she was fine in the relationship until the end, Cody. I mean, you can be offended for her that she stuck it out. Even that doesn't really make sense. But at the very end, when you were mean to her and that, but like your marriages were okay at the beginning and fine. So you don't need to be offended for her. It makes no sense. His use of offend does not make sense in this episode. Again, it's like he started a sentence, didn't know where it was going, so just kept throwing words in there and thought, nobody's going to know. Nobody ever challenges me on anything I say. And now they are. Cody really needs a writer. Yeah, he does. Texas Sherry. I'm a little bit older than you, Jenny. Sonny and Cher's show was canceled because of the divorce. That was the way it was back then. Oh, so it didn't go on. So like if I would have heard about, maybe that's why I heard about it when it just stopped being on the air. Well, I still wouldn't have been devastated. I probably was sad when I found out there was no more Sonny and Cher. I don't think I cared about their particular marriage at age 6. I was 6, so I was probably pretty selfish and thought, I like the show. Shoot. Now there's no more show. Texas Sherry. She is my twin sister down in Texas. My twin sister friend, I should say. Murphy Girl said Cher was always half naked. I doubt he watched. Doubt he did too. I think I put in my video when I was recording it. I said, why did he like Sonny and Cher so much? Yeah, I bet he liked Bette Midler too. Just left it at that. Oh, Terry Gard died today. That's sad, Lemon J. Okay. Becky said, Sonny remarried a good woman. They had more kids and a good life, became a U.S. Congressman for California. I remember when he became a U.S. Congressman for California because I thought that was definitely going to be the end of their friendship. Because he became a Republican congressman. And Cher doesn't strike me as being very Republican. She may have been, but she didn't strike me that way. And I thought, oh, now there's going to be a contentious relationship here, but never was. And she always said he was my soulmate. I remember her saying that to the very end. That she's like, we couldn't be together anymore. It didn't work out, but Sonny was always my soulmate. That's sweet. Okay. Okay. Betty liked Liza Minnelli too. Probably Ethel. The only name that came to mind at the time was Bette Midler. Because I was like, Bette Midler, Cher. And then I was like lost. But yeah, Liza Minnelli. That would have been a good one to throw in there. So already recorded. Did it Sunday night. All right. People used to get along in spite of differences of opinions, especially political ones, right? We were a different country back in the day. They even said that, okay, we're not going to talk politics, but this is just a positive thing. Back in the day, congressmen on different sides of the aisle would battle it out during the day, and then they'd go have a drink at night and have dinner together and laugh, and like they were all really good friends. You remember Ruth Ginsburg and who's the other guy who's kind of heavyweight? They completely had opposite. They're both on the Supreme Court. Completely different opposite views, and the two of them were like best friends. Like she could have been his mother. And they got together every Monday and did dinner, and I just like, that's how life used to be. Isn't it sad? It's sad that we're not there anymore. People have to argue about everything. I don't like arguing. I don't like it. Okay, let's go on. All right. Let's see. We have here, it offends me. Okay, more offending stuff. And then another analogy. Can we have one episode where Cody doesn't throw in an analogy? I didn't even write it all out, but this is where it was funny. It was something about, so our life is like a ship, but we crashed it, but the waves were big and we crashed the ship, but we got to shore. It started turning into this whole story. And I was just like, what? So like, we're okay. So are you okay? I don't, like I was just like, I'm not following the ship analogy. Gosh, there's got to be 99,000 better analogies right now. Especially since it's turning into a short story. And then Huckleberry wrote, I don't know. I see Cody more as like a Gilligan than any kind of captain of a ship. I just remember laughing out loud. That's true. His analogy works if Cody's Gilligan. Then the analogy works. That was funny. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share. That's one of the things that made me laugh out loud. That happened on Sunday night during our live. All right. He goes on to share that he married out of obligation, which makes no sense. I talk about that in the video you'll see coming. Because obligation to who? He's not obligated. He wasn't obligated to marry any of those women. None of them. Married out of obligation. Didn't expand really. Although he does later on go on to blame the wives. And, actually, he goes on to blame God at one point. It's just golden. Golden. Probably the most blasphemous, horrible thing that Cody said was in this episode. Almost went over my head. When I was like going back and looking at certain stuff to take notes again, because I have like cryptic notes, but I wanted more details about a certain thing. I like really watched it and I'm like, how did I miss that? All right. And that Barbara Streisand. Thank you, Lemon J. See, now all the names are coming. Gosh, I wish my brain, you know what? It's late at night on Sunday nights. We're like talking after midnight as I'm doing the recording. Brain doesn't work that well. All right. Okay. Number 232, Tara Lee. Thank you for hitting the like button. And Becky. Whoa. The chat keeps going so fast that when I click it, literally it moves. Okay. Mama Squirrel, I almost said something about them driving away because it was like Cody getting like all excited to get in the truck and drive with Nathan. He's like, are we going to have a chance to do lunch too? Yeah. Like a big smile. And it was like, okay. Odd. I don't know that I even get that excited if I'm going to go have lunch with a girlfriend. You're dudes. Take it down a notch. Yeah. But I didn't talk about it. I think it was late and I thought, I don't know, I'd probably been mean to him enough. It's just conjecture anyway. It just kind of goes along with the whole share story. Okay. Justice Scalia, yes. Ruth Ginsburg and Justice Scalia were very close friends. All right. There was a lot of kissing in that truck too. He was so happy with Nathan. Lunch. Lunch. It's what we're calling it these days, people. All right, we have a new word. Lunch. So now when you want to write in the chat, just put it in quotes. I'm sure they ran upstairs to have lunch while the kids were babysitting themselves. Or maybe that's why they have lunch all day. Therefore, they need a babysitter. Okay. Cody cried when his friend went home after his and Robin's wedding. Oh, did he really? I don't even remember that. I remember him talking about being so upset that he had to leave his wedding because all his buddies he hadn't seen in so long were there. And it was time for the bride and groom to leave, and he didn't want to go with Meri because his buddies were all there, and he was dancing and having a good time. All right. I was excited at the prospect of food. All right, we're going to go down the hole now. I just see it. Becky, Cody always cries when a man leaves him. Wives, not so much. Oh, okay. He bawled like a baby. It was odd. Wow, he also bawled like a baby when Caleb left. Do you remember? Wiping his face, going on and on. Yeah, a lot of man crushes. Man crushes can bring him to his knees in tears. Wives, kids, So long. Okay. I'm sure lunch was quite the experience. Ours were heading to the barn to check on the horses. Oh. All right, so are y'all putting all your code words in there? Mine was always, can you help me upstairs move some furniture? Because once I needed help, and then we ended up, since the kids were engrossed in some movie, continuing on. And from that point on, it ended up being, I have another piece of furniture. Can you help me move upstairs? Goodness. Now we have lunch. Okay, so let's talk about the weddings for a second. Is that what they're calling it now? Yep, lunch it is. Brokeback Cody. Bromance is out there in Wyoming. Oh, goodness. Okay. Hey, Amy, welcome. 2:45, hitting the like buttons. Thank you. Okay. So Cody says, what time is it? Oh, goodness. Okay, good. About the whole wedding situation. Obviously, it's a really bad look. And they don't think before they act, Cody and Robin. And then afterwards, they try to come up with excuses or claim, I didn't know. Robin, I didn't know the wives were upset that I went on this 11-day vacation. So Cody said that the reason he did the big wedding for Robin was not because Robin wanted it. She wanted something small and intimate. No way. No way. But he wanted it. And so, of course, she's following the same story. He wanted the big wedding. Well, he does like to be the center of attention, and there were cameras. So there may be some part truth involved in this. But can you see Kody wanting to delay? They got engaged in like September. They didn't get married till like March, April, something like that. Maybe it was even late or somewhere around there. Because they were waiting to do a big wedding that TLC would help pay for and do it on the show. They couldn't do it right away. So that's why they had to put it off for so long. And do you think that if Kody wasn't having lunch with Robin, that he would have been like, yeah, let's get it on the show. I'll wait 6 more months to get together with? No. No way, Jose. Not the man who has been with 3 wives all this time and now is getting a new young toy, new shiny new thing. No way. And no way with the woman who got pregnant before she got engaged and married to her first husband. And we're going to try to believe that because Kody wanted a big wedding, they pushed it off 6 to 9 months, but stayed chaste the whole time, which is what they claim on the show. No, it's all lies. They make themselves look stupid by saying stuff like that. Okay. Robin had bugs in her hair. She did have bugs. Those were expensive bugs. They were something like a couple $100 a piece. Those bugs in her hair. Those butterflies she had to have. And she put them in all the kids' hair. Those were expensive bugs. Freeze-dried or something like that. I don't know. Unbelievable. So, Robin says she did it for him. And what I basically say in my video is, this is how I look at it. Let's pretend this is all true. We know it's not, but we're going to pretend everything Kody and Robin is saying is true. Okay. Kody realized that his first 2 weddings were not special. Those wives did not have special weddings. And he was not going to make the same mistake again. So he's going to throw this big shindig for wife number 4. Can we just pause for a second and think about how wife number 2 and 3 are going to feel about this? Who completely got slighted? For Robin also to not be aware. If it were me, I would have insisted that wife 2 and wife 3 each had some sort of special, intimate renewal of their vows with family, their whole family there, some friends, even if it was in the backyard of their house, like something that was really special for them that they liked. And then they went away. It doesn't even have to be for 11 days. Let's say 3 days. Had a lovely honeymoon together. I would have insisted on that if I knew I had some big thing down the road coming my way and they had nothing, essentially. Meri really, not Meri, Janelle really had nothing. She didn't even have a wedding dress. Yes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that she would allow that to happen and then feign ignorance. I didn't know they were going to be bothered by it. I tried to include them. Well, you had to include them. 1, you needed content for the show. 2, you would have really looked like a-holes if you would have planned all this and they knew nothing about what it was and then they just showed up. But by including them, you bought yourself some big old fancy white dress that you picked out special with Cody, which we found out, and stuck them in some brown poop looking things. That was not special. No. Okay. Mom Squirrel said, after the wedding, Robin celebrated by going out and kicking some dogs. So bad. Oh, goodness. That was not funny. That was not funny, Mama Squirrel. Nobody was kicking any dogs. Oh, yeah. There was no. This is another one of those situations where Robin can always feigns ignorance and I don't know. It's the same thing right now with the relationship with the kids. She claims she had relationships with them too. She's been in that family for a decade. Why could she not reach out to those children on her own? Didn't even have to be about Cody. She didn't have to reach out to them and say, get in contact with your dad. She could have just said, listen, you mean a lot to me. You are special to me. And I don't know what's going on with you and your dad, and I'm trying to stay out of it, and I'm trying not to talk to him about it because it makes him really angry, but I want you to know he doesn't even know I'm texting you. I would love it if we could get together and have coffee so we can just talk because our relationship is meaningful to me. Never happened. Never happened. So I can't believe her when she says she's upset that Cody's not mending the relationship. She's doing nothing. If she were to keep a close relationship with those kids, it would be easier for Cody to mend it with them too, because he would see what she's doing and he would learn by example what it takes to keep relationships going. Maybe he would even be a little open-minded as to listening to what she has to say in terms of what she should do, but she didn't. It doesn't matter. She didn't do anything like that. Again, just like the wedding. She does all this stuff or she doesn't speak up and then, I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Big Recula. That line of Christine's is again where I go, okay, we're still lying. We're still lying. I wish she could just be honest. There is no way that Robin was a good sister wife to you. You've come out numerous times and said she's not a good sister wife to you. That she's the epitome of what Cody keeps saying that you are. It's like she doesn't have a need anymore. Well, okay, this is before the Truly lawsuit went into effect. Now, remember, it was 2 years back. So maybe she's still trying to play nice and trying to be on Cody's good side so that he will reach out and keep a connection with the kids. Because that was important more important to Christine than it was to Janelle. That was important to Christine that Cody maintain relationships with, well, certain kids. Anyway, he and Peyton, nothing going on there. All right. So when she said that, I go, don't say that, because then that negates everything else you're saying. Like, I don't know if I can trust anything that comes out of your mouth when you say stuff like that. And she was like going on and on about how happy she was with the wedding, that she was such a part of it, that Robin really included them. No, she didn't. She brought you there on a farce to look at wedding dresses so that she could get on television and put on all these pretty dresses. I've always dreamed of this. I love this. She admitted it. She admitted it in San Francisco anyway, when she took him to a shop that only had like size 8 and below dresses. And so Robin had to try them all on for everybody so you could see what they look like. I love this. Yeah, she's a piece of work. So the whole wedding dress thing was a lie. The cake testing, Cody chose the one that Robin liked. What else was there to be included? They kind of got their nails done, but they didn't really. Like, if I were Robin, I would be like, are we going to take a picture of all our hands together? Do you guys want to get some acrylics on, or even just like Lee press-ons or something, and then go to the salon and get them looked up? So that, because she has these long skinny fingers with a French manicure on them for her wedding, and then the other ladies just had their stubby, what all our nails look like. for people like me who can't grow nails until I just bit the bullet and went acrylic. I completely recognize their hands. And the other thing about it is when I have short, stubby little fingers, my husband used to always call them little sausages when we were first married, the nails help. They elongate the fingers so they're not so short and stubby little fingers. And it would have made their hands look like they all had like shorter, chubbier little fingers. And then she had these long, skinny ones with this perfect French manicure at the end. And I was just like, I look at that picture and I get mad at Robin. Nothing was wrong with their fingers, but they didn't look like go out on the town, it's a special day occasion fingers. Looks like they got a little gloss put on them. That's it. I wanted them to have the long, pretty fingers too. It'd be weird to see Janelle in acrylic nails, I will admit. But they don't have to be long. They can be just a little bit longer, just to have that like elegant look to them. No. I don't know why that bothered me so much. That picture bothered me. Like, can you tell? I'm going on and on about it. It bothered me when I saw it. I was like, well... And then I realized, I'm like, well, their nails are done. They just don't have nails. Maybe I'm upset because I never had nails for the longest time, so I completely related to them. And it just made me feel, I don't know if more feminine is the word, or just like I was doing something special for myself, because I never went and got my hair cut or colored by a beautician. I always did it myself. I never, like I didn't get massages. A lot of things that a lot of my friends were going out and doing. I didn't do any of that. So I feel like the nails, because I had jobs where I was using my hands and they're just like all stubby and yucky, I felt I justified it for my work. But really, it was really just for me. And it's easier to take care of. You just go every couple weeks and they take care of them, as opposed to you trying to like make them look nice. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I swear I am. What else did we have to talk about here? They didn't have special weddings. All right, we're gonna move on. Oh, Cody's line at the end of that was, I want a special celebration. It was very Willy Wonka-ish. But I said, I want a celebration. Daddy, give me a celebration. Wish I would have thought about that for the video. All right. I do have a note here that I was feeling at one point that Cody was showing his cards in terms of being jealous of David a little bit. It was just because he just had so many opinions about it. Like, David's living rent-free in his head. Like, thou doth protest too much, I think. Like, too much to say about somebody you don't care at all about, Cody. Okay, we didn't ask about David, but thank you for sharing. I think at this time he was jealous. All right. Just funny. Robin's goal with her wedding was to not be insensitive. She threw this big shindig knowing wife 2 and wife 3 had nothing. Her goal was to not be insensitive. She leaves, goes on an 11-day honeymoon. Try not to be insensitive. It's a lie. Oh, goodness. Oh. There's one line at the very end of this episode that Cody says, I'm just like moving on. I'm realizing, I just need to be happy and I just need to let it go. It's kind of him reflecting on the fact that, well, I mean, he didn't make the connection, but I think this is where the connection came from. Christine has moved on and he knows that somebody told him she found the love of her life, her soulmate. And Meri, now that she's apart from me, she seems so happy. I don't understand. Why is she in such a good mood? So he's like, I think I'm supposed to be happy. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And so after the destruction of, like first I had to go through the destruction of my family, and now who cares? I was like, did you just say that? What? What do you mean, who cares? I care. I don't know about you. I care. I've just been watching them on TV for the past 14 years. They're your family. Who cares? Lots of people care. But obviously Cody doesn't care. I thought that was telling. Boy, the things that just come out of his mouth. We've been through a destruction of the family, but who cares? Oh, Tracy. David and Christine should be Sonny and Cher for Halloween. Yes. Oh, yeah, that was McKelty gossiping to Cody, and then Cody gossiping about Christine. Yeah, that's how that went. All the gossip he's upset about in the family, he'll take it in and he'll spread it to other people. But boy, if two people are talking life, what's going on in their lives to each other, that's gossiping. I don't know. This family has all this gossiping. If he talks to somebody and then they share what he says, it's gossiping. You can't repeat a thing Cody says. It falls under the category in the umbrella of gossiping. Oh, goodness. He's the worst. Betty B now has I Got You, Babe in her head. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Oh, but that's nice of you, Tracy. Before I forget, I always have a great time at your lives. Thank you. It's all because this chat here, amazing. Stop getting your nails done when you had children. Isn't that funny? I just started when I had children. Oh no, they hold up. I started between baby 1 and 2 because I had them in the pictures when my now 24-year-old was born. I remember seeing the nails in the picture. I'm like, oh, I can actually track when I first got the nails. The only thing, they really never got in the way. I don't make them very long. I mean, it's time for me to even go get another color, and they'll go down a little bit lower. So I don't have them very long. I just enough to elongate my fingers a little bit and me not have to worry about trying to. My nails are really, really thin, which is interesting because I always had like thick curly hair back in the day. The pregnancies took a lot of that away, and now age has taken the rest of it away. But I had really thick curly hair, but the most anemic nails. And they always say hair and nails like the same, like if you're taking biotin or some sort of vitamin, it like works for both. Like they're the same system or something in your body. And yet, great hair, weak nails. So I would just tear them. I can tear my toenails. They're weak. Something bothers me, I just rip it till I can get around to a nail clipper again. Anyway, not that you need to know the details of this, but the point being, I couldn't grow nails. They would start to, and my nail beds are really low. So they start kind of in the middle of my finger. So when they're low, they're like low. Those people who like, you can see around the tip of their finger and then the nail starts way down here. That my nail bed starts kind of close-ish to like 3/4 of the way up my finger. So it really made them look. So for me, it worked. I will say though that sometimes it's hard to pick up like a little piece of paper or a little a hair or a thread or something. They're not because they're thicker than a regular nail. That's the only complaint I have. Other than that, no complaints. Keep them low enough, you can still have kids. All you youngins watching this, it's okay. I did it. You could do it too. Okay. Robin is the mean stepsister that got the prince, not realizing the OG have escaped right when the carriage turns back into the pumpkin. That's very well said, especially with Halloween around the corner. Very well said. We should have a montage of Cody dancing at weddings. I do have, on one of my earlier videos, I have a montage of all his dancing and all his hair flipping around and him jumping up and down. But I honestly don't know which one it is. If anyone knows, they can write it down below. But like, that wasn't the theme of that's why I can't think of which one it was in. Because the point of it wasn't Cody dancing. Although I do think I have a file on my desktop of just Cody dancing, thinking maybe I'll just do a short video of just that at some point. I should go back and see where that is. Okay. I just had another flashback of Cody and Robin making sexual innuendos about animals and their breeding practices on the safari trip. Yeah, they're like smiley, giggly. Nah, that bugged me too. That probably bugged me as much as the PDA that Christine does with David, and they didn't even show much PDA. It's just their... Waldo's mom didn't like it when Meri gave Robin the clatter ring. She did the with the fake tears. Oh, the nails with the ugly brown dresses. It was obvious whose wedding it was. Right. Yep. I love getting my nails done. They are fun to bite. I do, when it's time for a new set, I do bite off all my old ones and then peel them off. It kind of feels that satisfaction from when I used to just bite my nails. And I still kind of pick at them underneath. I have issues. Oh, Lynn, you're lucky. Your nails and your hair grow. I have a daughter who has just the opposite of me. She has very thin hair. Very, very, very thin hair. I'm so worried for her after she has kids and gets older. Oh, it's so thin. But she has really good nails. She has great nails. Who knew? Not saving their grocery money well enough. Quote from Frugal Robin. All right. Let's do the quote and let me read to you 2 things that made me laugh this week in the comments. Our new section, if you weren't here at the beginning, at the very end, I have the quote that I always read, a new quote each time, but I'm also going to read something that made me laugh out loud when I was reading the comments that week. So it could be from a video from a while ago. It could be a more recent video. Let's see, what do we have going here? Let's pull up the next 2. Although I will say, it did make me laugh. Again, Huckleberry said, with the whole analogy of we crashed the ship and all that. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in that. She's like, no, Cody's more like Gilligan than any kind of captain of a ship. He's so Gilligan. All right. This was from Lori Erickson. And it was, when Cody just recently was complaining again about COVID. And he said he saw the Grim Reaper. She wrote under that video, that wasn't the Grim Reaper. He saw the ghost of Christmas future. And he doesn't understand the irony of his and Robin's Department 57 Christmas Dickens Village. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. I screwed that up. I'm sorry, Lori. It was funny. Did y'all get it? Anyway, not the Grim Reaper, Ghost of Christmas Future. And do we not see the irony of the village and the Grim Reaper and the Ghosts of Christmas Future? Okay. Made me laugh when I read it. Okay. We had Edie Falkenhagen wrote a comment that made me laugh. And this was when on Christmas, one of the more recent videos, when on Christmas, Cody was, first of all, we had Robin blubbering and crying like crazy. And then we cut to Cody talking about how she has a spine. Robin is just tough as nails. She has a spine of concrete and steel. And I'm like, oh, please. Edie wrote, Cody, do you know who wanted a spine of concrete and steel? your daughter, Isabel. Mic drop. Oh, remember you didn't go? That's who wanted a spine of concrete and steel. So true. All right. You guys make me laugh when I read these comments. Okay. Good. Where's, oh, there it is. Okay. And the quote of the week. All right. This is one about boredom. Boredom is the feeling that everything is a waste of time. Serenity is the feeling that nothing is. That is from Thomas Szazaz, S-Z-A-S-Z. Boredom is the feeling that everything is a waste of time. Serenity is the feeling that nothing is. Totally agree with that. Every minute of my day is interesting to me. I am never bored. Never bored. I remember taking a job as a head of circulation at a college library for a short period of time before getting back into speech therapy when I had to renew, because I let my licenses expire for a period of time when my kids were younger and I was just doing the other business. Anyway, so I went and I took that job, and she was like, oh, are you going to be okay? Like, some people don't, it's too quiet, because I was going to be there till closing at midnight. So it was like 5 p.m. till midnight. And I was like the only person at the desk. Obviously, there were students, workers that were going to be there with me as well. But I just remember saying to the lady when I got interviewed, who ended up being my boss, I said, if I have to sit at a desk and I can't have anything around me, like I can't flip through a magazine or read a book, of that, if I have to sit there for all these hours, once there's no more work to do, and if there's no students checking things out in that, if I can be like doing anything, I'm fine. But if I literally have to just sit there with my hands in my lap, I might be bored. I've never been in that situation in my life. I always have a list of 99,000 things to do in the back of my head. And so there's never downtime. So I can't imagine being bored. I can't remember the last time I was bored. I'm sure as a kid I was bored a lot. I just can't remember it. I guess I got busy pretty early on. I kind of did. It's a kid that was in like a million organizations in high school and did the exact same thing in college, and then got married and belonged to different groups there and had kids and got busy with the kids and did all their organizations and driving them around, all you moms out there. So not bored. And even though I'm an empty nester right now, I'm still not bored. Still got the 3 kids, still involved in their lives and visiting and doing things with them. And then I've got 3 jobs. All right. At some point y'all have to tell me, I know a lot of you are retired, but if you're working, what is your job? I know we have some nurses in here. I know we have some teachers in here. Trying to think of all the occupations I've heard in the past. We have a 911 call operator. Different people have said what they're doing at their jobs while they were listening. Someone was a janitor. She said that she listens to it while she cleans some but an office building at night, which I thought was cool. So yeah, let me know at some point. Go ahead. You can put it in this chat. And if it cuts off, you can go in the comments underneath the video and let me know. I'd love to know. All right. Meri is IT. There you go. All right. And Brony is retired, but she was a librarian. I love librarians. All right. Do write it down below. Okay. And I'm going to sign off. I am going to read, though, what everybody does, because I am interested. I definitely am. Okay. Good night, sister. And I think our sister friends would like to know what each other does, too. You should write it down below. Put it also in the chat, and maybe we'll even start off with that, if I remember, next time, to have people start putting it in right away so we can all get to know each other a little bit more. and see if we have that. There's a bunch of speech therapists out there too. I've had a lot of people say, I'm a speech therapist too. Somebody in one of my chats just recently, not a chat, but in a comment down below said that she was an audiologist. She's like, oh, I love your speech breakdown. And when you use the word lexicon, I was like, ah. She was an audiologist. So, yeah. Who's a medical examiner? Oh, yeah, I build cars. See, y'all, this is going to be fascinating. I'm very excited about this now. I'm very excited about all your jobs. I can't wait to see it all. Okay, let me know. And if you're not receiving income from somewhere else, but if you're home with your kids, totally a job, put it down below. Let us know, because it's a hard job, and you get no money for it too. So yeah. Okay. Good night, sister friends. Be sure to keep sharing with me everything you guys do. A bovine midwife. Awesome. Midwife for cows? That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll see you all either Sunday night, or you'll be seeing me when the video comes out before Sunday at some point. And we'll definitely get together next Tuesday night. Bye, everybody.